Here we go. What's up, Space Shark? The man himself. Thanks for stopping by. Today we're doing, here we go. We actually put arms on him today. We put arms and shoulder pads and glued his little greaves to him. So we gotta fix all of that. We did the leg, the chest last time. So we're gonna get, yeah, his arms are nice to have. I agree. It's pretty crucial to, I guess, their job. Swinging big ass weapons, that kind of thing. But today we're gonna actually make it work and look a little nicer, a little more complete. And for everybody who's been watching, this is gonna be all sponge. We love the sponge. It's the best tool ever because it literally allows you to not fake skill, but get away with being new and still having it look pretty good. So we're gonna get that moving today. So one thing that I actually mentioned last time that I want to show you is I told you how you envision light. Because if you look at this, the light is coming from up top and I'm painting in a direction where it's not the natural light that I'm actually wanting to look at it from. So I literally said, if you can, put it in a situation where the light is pointing in the right direction and then just take a picture of it like this. So you can see it where I'm gonna paint the light. So you see the top of the shoulders there, it's a little dark in the front, along the edge, the top of the greave where it's lighter up the tear, and then in the middle. But you can't see that like this. So just have something like this next to you, look at it for reference, and that's how you can cheat that way. I've literally seen videos where people are doing it and this is like saying, just imagine where light might go and use your brain to determine where. And I'm like, come on, you can be easier than that. You don't need to be stuck up. Relax. We're mini painting here. It's okay to use tools. So we can do that today. So we're still using the same color scheme. Everything is based in the dark green brown, and then dark orange brown, bright yellow, and then the top highlights, bright pale yellow. So we're gonna start with our first highlight, dark orange brown. Bring out the palette cam. By the way, I'm serious about doing tutorials for White Shark magazine. I really want to. I'm thinking about. I was actually thinking about it, and I wrote down some notes today, like how I would do it. Since it's print, I'm thinking step-by-step pictures next to each other, like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. Each with a different phase in the same angle. I've seen those before, and then a small description of what I did or something like that. If it's going to be print only, if there's like a digital option, like a link that's exclusive to White Shark or something like that, that would be cool too. But that's definitely going to happen next time. Okay. A little too late. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Okay. Started. Oh yeah, I'm excited. I'll do something like that and see, and I'll send it to you and see how you like it. All right. So I'm referencing my top here. Zoom in. Okay. So let's start with the shoulder pauldron thing there. So don't need to be too neat with this first one because it's the first base layer. In fact, you want it to be kind of all over It's okay to go into areas where you weren't necessarily expecting. The only thing that you kind of want to be careful of is not getting it on the paces that you already painted last time. If you can. But like I say in all my other streams, don't worry too much, you can fix it. And especially with these techniques, you can definitely fix it, so don't worry. Okay, getting that first layer. Let's get a little more paint on there. Be a little bolder. Also, for anybody who is watching this now or watching this afterwards, do you prefer there to be music in the background or no music in the background? I've actually heard both. I'm not sure what people prefer, because this is just like the copyright-free music that's on Spotify. At least I hope it is. That's what it says it is, so I'm hoping that I'm not going to get in trouble by posting this later, but I don't know what you prefer, because if I post like clips of this after, if there's no music, I can add music easily from like the libraries that are there because the clips are short enough. OBS. I know there's Streamlabs. I didn't try it. I just tried OBS first. So I wasn't sure which one was better, but I heard everybody using OBS, so I just gave that one a try. But all the like widgets are Stream Elements. So it's OBS with Stream Elements widgets. Oh, and the music dropped out? No. I had to mess with it for like a full week before I even started doing anything, because I found you have to, in OBS, have it on a separate track and have it as a separate recording device. Like, it's recording my desktop. I couldn't get it to record the application, because there's a way to just record like at Spotify as an application, but it wouldn't let me do that. It would do the same thing that you just described. It would drop out. Yeah, I still have to talk the whole time too, because otherwise it's not entertaining. You gotta be there's no dead air. This isn't college radio. Are you kidding me? They'll leave. And we need to spread the good word of painting. Can't have them leaving. We're doing the other pauldron now. I'm just referencing my image. The top. Same basic pattern towards the front, leaving this kind of little area in the very front a little shadowy. But it's okay to be, like I said, it's okay to be bold with this first layer. Bigfoot in socks. Bigfoot's... Speaking... you know what? Bigfoot's a good subject. I literally just got in a conversation with my granddad about Bigfoot. He's a 100% Bigfoot truther. I'm not kidding. I didn't know this about him at all, and I was so surprised. We were talking about something else, and he brought it up, and he says, you know, there's too many sightings for it not to be real. I was like, oh, all right. I mean, that's cool. I didn't argue with him. I just said, wow, you think so? And he's like, I mean, it has to be. There's no way that that many people would have descriptions of the same guy, of the same thing. And I mean, in a certain level of logic, that makes sense. Someone crossing the interstate and the turnoff. That was real. That was 100% real. When I hear stories like that, it makes me wonder what they actually saw. Like, was it a dude, like in a kind of odd coat or something like that? or was it a animal or just something that she didn't recognize? Was was it at night, that kind of thing? Because they saw something. They're not making up the fact that they saw something. But how do you be? Imagine all the people. Yeah, and said nothing because they thought they were crazy. They thought they're like, there's no. I didn't see that. I was hallucinating. It was late at night. I didn't have my glasses on. I didn't have my freaking. I didn't take my meds or something like that. Oh yeah. Let's see. Something that you know I in this same type of vein too. I love like not conspiracy theory lore, but like flat Earth lore. That's one of my favorites. Flat Earth lore. Look at it. You gotta look into it. Flat Earth lore is amazing because the world building is insane. Like look up like flat Earth maps, and you get like Sol and Bol and the ascended continents with their own names and stuff like that. I'm like, damn, these people need to be writing books. That's some creative shit. Who else is coming up with that? You know? Good stuff. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're getting there with this first layer. Gonna do the grieve a little bit here too. Don't worry about getting anything. I painted the cape just for an example, for a juxtaposition to the color so that it would stand out more. But don't worry about getting anything on the cape because it's literally just a solid blue. It's not any other color. So don't think that you can literally just fix it as soon as something goes wrong. Like if you get some of this paint on it, don't worry about it at all. You can take it right off. Not take it off, but you can paint over it. So chill on that. Amateur. Hell yeah. Like full-blown docudramas about Bigfoot? That's amazing. You know what's also unique about Bigfoot? What's the actual like I'm curious about the actual fascination of it. Like the like mythological lore of Bigfoot is that he's like an in-between, right? He's like the ape to human pre-evolution like stepping stone, right? Or is it something else? Is he his own subspecies that we haven't discovered yet, that is too elusive that's intelligent enough to avoid humans for this long, and is never had any archaeological evidence of? It's never died. It's an immortal creature. Dryopithecus offsuit. Yeah. That's what I thought. I was like, it's a tangent line or something. But yeah, but also this is also the thing I think about, like, or is there quote archaeological evidence and they're hiding it? They quotes they, you know, and why? Like I'm also curious. Like if we found out no ancient hominid fossils. Yeah, that's another good point. Yeah. We're oh man, this is gonna be the good point stream. This is gonna be the makes you think. Taps forehead. Good. We're not. This is. I categorize this as in just chatting on Twitch, so it's okay. I'm obeying TOS. It's kosher. Okay, here's the secondary color. Here's the orange brown. So this is where it's gonna start popping. So again, you can be pretty bold with this one. The only thing that you have to be careful of again is that shadow area in the front. Be careful as you can be, not hitting that and not hitting the paint that you did on the previous section. Normally you would build this whole thing first. Like I did it in as an example to show people. Damn it, see I got, well, no, I did okay. But we're learning together. So when I mess up, it's okay. Okay. The other thing to make sure of when you're doing something like this is stop while you're ahead. If you see this and you see like, oh, okay, it's looking pretty good. Maybe if I do a couple more taps, that's probably the signal to stop. Because if you do too much, it'll take away from the effect, because you want those like areas where it didn't hit, because that's what gives the illusion of metal, because it's not perfect unless you're painting specifically a perfect metal, like Flameon does, like where he makes it like it's perfectly like a mirror reflective. That's not this. We're not doing mirror reflective. We're doing battle worn or battle used or something like that. Okay. So there we go. Getting a little nicer there. But what else? And the tangent on the tangent of Bigfoot. Guarantee 100% real. We're Bigfoot truthers also, by the way. I know it seemed like I was implying that I wasn't, but it's 100% fact. I said it earlier on Discord. I'm already a tap water truther. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Oh, I guess I could tell that story, on stream for anybody who cares. Last night, me and my beautiful wife, the beautiful wife of 10 years, come home from a nice night out, and we walk inside our apartment here in LA, and we're like, huh, it smells like gas all the way in here, like not a little bit. And we both said, let's get out and see what the heck is going on. So we exited the apartment and said, like, okay, maybe there was like a smell that came from outside because we had one of the windows open while we were gone, and then we came back inside and it was still super strong. So we decided, no way, we're not staying in this. So we spent the next like 2 hours trying to figure out what to do, because there's no emergency maintenance in my building. So that's always fun. And we ended up sleeping in our car last night. Thankfully, we have a gated, closed garage in our building. But sleeping in the car is not fun. It was comfortable enough. We have a nice car. Seats are comfy, but whew, I haven't done that in years. Sleeping in the car, because there was nothing else to do. It was 2 a.m. and we're like, we could get a hotel, but it's gonna be close to where we are. It's nothing was under 150 for the night, and we're gonna sleep for six hours and then have to pay that? No way. So we ended up sleeping in the car. It was cute though. We were snuggled up in the back seats. Nice. In a funny way, not a comfortable way. But here we go. True ghost stories. I will. Wait a minute. True ghost stories? I love ghost stories. I'm about to do that immediately after this. That's one of my favorite things. I like ghost stories more because it's way more it's to me that's almost more rational than believing in Bigfoot. And the reason being is because the evidence of Bigfoot is something that you probably could collect. Ghosts is I believe in spiritual creatures, and thus their characteristics could be unnoticeable or unevidenced because it's a secondary degree of reality. It's a separate section, something like that. So that's fascinating. And the stories would be like, okay, what are the characteristics of their experience? And then we can talk about that. There you go. That would be good. I could just run it continuously. That would be pretty fun. Probably for a lot of people. I forgot to do this other cauldron thing, so I'm just gonna do that really quick. First color. Okay. And back to color. The orange brown. I don't think I've ever had personally what I thought was a real ghost encounter. Never myself. I have had people tell me that they've had really, really intense ghost encounters. I've never personally had one. I've had situations where I felt extremely afraid of being in a room. I would probably describe it as that. I've had situations like that where like I'm totally irrationally afraid of something. Yeah, some people are probably more. Yeah, definitely some people are more sensitive to that, for sure. Okay, let's see, we can do a little bit better on this top cauldron. I want it to be a little bolder. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Perfect. Okay. A little bit more cauldron here. Remember what I said about the blue cape? Don't worry about it. It's gonna get paint on it, and that's gonna be the easiest thing to fix because you're not gonna do anything but just paint blue over it. So don't worry about that. Had whispers in my ear at work. Oh, for real? Full on audible stuff. That's interesting. That's super interesting. 2 times out of full body shadow figures. You know what? Let me say this. I haven't had what I think is a ghost encounter, but I've had a extreme there's something out there feeling, and this was when my grandmother lives in an area of California that's in just the dead of woods. It's a way out there in the middle of the woods. You have to take a dirt road to get in. There's a wood bridge, go up a hill. This is all dirt. Go up into prey feeling. There's go up into a hill, and then there's a house on the side of the hill with a garage and a big shed. And we didn't. It was not like a multi-room house. It was like a super large living room area with multiple giant couches for entertaining and things like that. And then it's like a 2-bedroom. They had their bedroom on the other side of the house, and then one guest, but that was not available at the time. And me and my twin brother, by the way, I have a twin. We were in the living room at night, and I'm awake. And this is in the era of, if anybody remembers classic Adult Swim on Cartoon Network. This is in the era where it is kind of surreal. Like, the shit that they had on there was like kind of scary. I'm not talking about the anime, like the old anime. I'm talking about like the in-between animation and art piece where you would see things that were like weird on there. And I remember being up super late at night and for no reason, the front of the house is basically all pane glass. Like it looks like maybe like a grocery store. Yeah, stop motion toy show, that kind of thing. You know, old stuff. Like the mood was right for this. The mood, like I'm trying to describe, the mood was right for this. Like it's kind of like a weird, eerie vibe going on. And anyway, so like think of like a glass front grocery store. It's a giant window that goes across the whole front of the house in this area, and it's black woods in front at night. Like there's a space in front of the house that's just dirt, and then there's a line of woods, and the porch light comes down so you can see just in front of the house. You can probably picture it. It's scary as hell if you aren't used to it. Like if you come in there and you're just looking out, you're probably scared looking at like you just see the front of trees and then black behind it. And I was terrified because I knew that there was something out there looking at me. I didn't see any eyes or anything. I didn't see any eyes, and I didn't see any movement. Didn't see any kind of change in the light or anything like that. But I 100% facts knew something was out there looking directly at me. And I could not break away. And it didn't feel, it probably was an animal. I probably caught some peripheral vision of some movement and then noticed it for the rest of the evening or something like that. But I have never felt more like visceral fear than that one time. That was super scary. That's probably my closest to like ghost encounter. Oh yeah, I bet it was a mountain lion. If I'm thinking about like something that like could be out there, maybe a mountain lion or a wolf or something. But dang, it didn't feel like an animal. Like, you know how you like if you see like it didn't feel like the type of feeling where there's an animal looking at me, but I'm still safe because I'm behind some glass. I'm inside of a house. They're not getting past this glass. They're not getting in. They might like be curious because they can see me and they see like the flicker of the TV or something like that going on to me, and they're like they're looking at another animal, but I didn't feel like it was an animal. It definitely felt like almost like it's a person. Like if you describe like there's somebody looking at me and I don't like it. That's probably what I would describe it as. By the way, I'm loading up another sponge of now the bright yellow ochre. We're doing the next color. This one. I have a bunch of little torn off sponge pieces in front of me. But that's probably, if I'm thinking about the closest thing, it would be that. Ooh, don't remember that. You know what's funny, actually too about that? She had in that living room. There was a cast iron like wood burning stove, and I started feeling it as soon as it went out, because we were using it in the winter for not necessarily for heating the house, but it got pretty cold, and that was one of the main ways that we used for heat. But I had been like, just feeding it for the evening, and I was gonna let it go out because I had a big enough blanket. I wasn't worried about being too cold. And when it went out and the TV was still going, that's when I felt it. That was crazy. The timing of it. Okay, here's the butter highlight. Get this looking good. Later, man. Appreciate you stopping by. Thanks so much for yapping with me. I'm gonna check out that Ghost Stories thread after this. See you next time, buddy. Okay. See, that's already looking better. More. Other side. But that was fun. Submit your ghost stories in the comments. I truly, I'm not kidding when I say I like them. I really do, because it talks about a couple of things. State of mind, what we think about, what things we're afraid of. That's a big one. And that tells a lot about people, but also I don't doubt people when they say things like that. There's no reason to. Unless you know that they're making it up for attention, that's another thing. But typically, especially if you're describing a vulnerable experience, where like I was afraid and I want to share this with you, that's not the most normal thing to do. Yeah, I got some on the chest there. This is going to be a great time for me to show you how to fix these. Let's see if I can wipe off some of it. I made it worse. That's fine. But I'll show you how to fix that. Easier than you think. But we'll finish doing these highlights, and then I'll do the fixing. Here's 1, 2, 3. Okay. Pauldron. I might have put a little too much there, but actually the pauldron is going to be pretty reflective, and it's the edge, so that might be okay. But I'm going to also show you why this is probably one of the most forgiving techniques around. Even if you think that like, oh man, I really messed up on that section, I'll show you how easy it is to fix. Okay, but so far, take a look at where we are. Only one more highlight step. The bright pale yellow. Okay, and actually, just for contrast's sake, we haven't done the back yet. So here's this. There's the back. So we went from this solid color to this with just this tool. Pretty cool. Okay. Sponge is, in my opinion, one of those little miracle discoveries, at least for me. when I think about how do I make my paint look better, get a sponge. You have no idea, and it's fun. Like it really makes it a pretty enjoyable experience when you're like, oh, I get to paint light instead of edge highlighting. Personally, I hate edge highlighting. It's so tedious. It looks great when you do it, but man, does it take a long time. Man, does it take a long time, and I've got shaky hands, so it's hard for me. In a way that maybe isn't for some people, but I would prefer to do something like this if I can. Okay, here's the top highlight. Remember, this is where we get to be a little more gentle. You don't want this necessarily everywhere on the edges. Don't be too afraid. Because even with this, I'm telling you, we can fix it. If you overdo it, which is entirely possible, you can fix it. Don't be scared. It's better to be bold than timid, especially with effects, because the further you push an effect, typically the more people will like it, or the more you'll appreciate it, because it'll come out more. It'll come out better. Okay. And especially when it's an effect designed to trick the eye. The bolder it is, typically the better that it's going to be able to do that thing. So this is looking great. Let's fix those areas that I was talking about. So for example, and what I mean by areas that I think are a little bit too much are like possibly this greave right here, and then possibly, actually this is maybe not enough. Boom. No, actually I made that too. Now that's too much. So let me show you how to fix that. And the way that you do it is literally just go back to the one step color before that and tap around the edges of where you quote unquote messed up. I'm loading my sponge up again. So this time, I put a little bit too much in the front there of that top highlight. I'm just gonna fix it by reapplying the butter color. It's just the one color before in that same area lightly. And it sort of absorbs into there. There we go. And then I can reapply the top highlight a little bit more if it took away, like for example, on that lightning bolt on the top of the pauldron, which it did. So we'll fix that too. But it's very forgiving, is what I'm getting at, is that you don't need to be too worried about messing up here, because it's a very easy method to fix. And there we go. That looks a lot better. Okay. So now we have most of this armor done from the front. Oh, except for this little boot. Let's do that really quick. Gonna get paint all over the front of the cape here, but that's okay. So the boot is actually, it's nothing. It's like a little tiny piece. Just like that. Yeah, see, I got it on the cape. Okay. We're just gonna repaint that blue. But this is turning out really, really well. Do a little more of the butter here. The pauldron, just because I think that might look nice. Mid-tone. Just to stretch it out a little bit more. And when I say stretch it, I mean like push the effect a little bit further back. I think that's looking pretty good. And then remember the last step is, and this is optional, this is something that I'm gonna do just because I like to push it a little further. Oh, and actually we didn't even fix the chest piece there, right? Because you know what I didn't notice, because the paint dried and it still looks pretty great. So let's fix that chest piece spot that we messed up earlier. So first thing, just on the edges, coming back with that original highlight color. And that's it. You never knew it happened. Same thing on this side, because we did the same thing on the other side too. And if you need a little more precision, you can take a brush and do a dot. In fact, I'll show you that. So take a little brush and just dot the place where you feel like that one little spot is too much. And it's gone. Once it dries, that is. But easy, 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 easy. Closer, actually. And we'll go back to the bottom here, to the second color. With that boot, it's literally just like a one spot. The tip. Waiting for that to dry. I'll put the last little bit of the butter on it. But I think this is looking pretty great, and I'm excited to do the back portion too. Oh, what was I doing? The last step. I'm almost forgetting. Let's get a brush here, because this is just like the only little bit of detail work that really is brush necessary, and that's all right. I'm filling my little paint cup with water. And it's just dot highlighting the rivets. I like to do that with the top highlight, just because I think that it helps with like the illusion of the shine. Like, this is metal, because they're their own little spheres that exist on this armor, and therefore they have their own characteristic of reflectiveness separate from the rest of it. That one's already pretty much done. Go. That guy. That one. Got lots of little rivets. Go. That one. That one. And nothing more than just a little dot. And see how it being added to the bottom of that thing right there really pushes the illusion when it wasn't before? That's what I'm talking about. If you want to do something like that, it's entirely optional, but to me, it helps push that illusion a little bit better. Okay, going. Okay. I say K a lot. Probably do that less. Wonder if anyone's noticed that that's sort of my tick or something. There. I missed a couple of these first time around. Okay, and then the little rivulets. Cauldron. Right there. Right there. And one right here. So you can kind of see it, but see that third one right there? See how it pushes the illusion because you can see it reflecting when it wasn't before? That's what I'm talking about. Those tiny little visual details will push what I described as the distance of the illusion, because you're leaving certain areas almost completely blank or unpainted other than the base color. So you do things like this to extend the effect further. Okay. There we go. All right. The front is very nearly completed. The only things that we can do now are edge highlight the interior of that pauldron, because that would be something that's pretty reflective. And then we can do like little, like, see right here, there's a lip that's, and I'm just gonna highlight it for you right now, just so that you can see what I'm talking about. There's the internal lip, and I'm gonna highlight it so that you see what I'm talking about with the illusion. This is gonna take it to the next level. Totally optional. And you'll also find that sometimes if you don't do it, it looks better. I'm gonna do it so I can show you, but there's entirely times where if you don't do it, it looks better. So I just did the second to highest highlight tone, and then I'm doing the highest highlight tone just on the corners. Like that. So I'll do the same for the other side, and actually I went a little too high on there, so I'm going to fix that. There we go. And then we copy that on the other side to make it nice and matchy. And then that'll do it. And I mean it when I say that'll do it. Because you, like I said before, do not want to overdo this effect. You can literally do too much paint. Because if you do too much paint, you'll really get rid of those dark areas that you need for the non-metallic metal to shine. Okay. This is also why I said I don't like edge highlighting, because this part is probably the hardest and the easiest to go overboard on. Just the corners. Pitch the light the sharpest. Done. This corner here. Corner there. So it's a little too high, so we'll fix that. A little of that mid-tone. There we go. And now I have to stop. This is where you, like, I have to follow my own advice and stop. Except for one thing. I keep thinking, I keep saying one more thing I didn't do, and it's that foot at the bottom here. 1 second. Do one more tap on the foot. And so also, just to make it look neat and tidy, the last thing that I'll actually do is repaint the blue over the parts that we got yellow paint on, so that you can see how good it looks in a finished form. Here we go. Last highlight on the bottom boot. Just a little something like that. Just so that we show that we didn't forget. And for uniformity's sake, just gonna repaint that blue right over where we put it on accidentally. Voila. I think that looks pretty great. Don't you? Non-metallic gold. And you saw it. 99.999% with a sponge. We did very, very, very little with a brush, if anything at all. If you call that corner, the dotting the rivets, because you literally can't with the sponge, extra work. And that's totally optional again. It's only if you really, really, really want to be extra overboard, I would describe. But anyway, we're going to continue with this guy. Tomorrow, we'll hit the whole back. Because look at that transition. This is before, after. Before, after. Hope this has been helpful. We'll see you next time, everybody. Thanks so much for